Well, I tell people this. I've spent 15 years as a storyteller. I'm in the storytelling business. That's why I like doing American Grit so much. I get to monitor 17 competitors' stories. I get to monitor 4 mentor stories. I get to oversee all the challenges and try to draw things out of these people to help them right their wrongs, to help them get right back on the path, to help them weave a great end to a wonderful story. So when you talk comedy or drama or action or WWE or American Grit, it's all based off of stories, man. I'm a storyteller. You're here because you've either lost your grit or maybe you never had it in the first place. Grit is is getting back up after you've been knocked down. And some people get knocked down and don't like the feeling and stay down. And it's the ability to get back up and back in the fight.
The next position. We got one more of these. 5, 4, 3.
There's a small percentage of folks that truly push themselves to a peak physical level. So although the challenges and the spectacles are beautiful and physically punishing, as a viewer, I don't necessarily know what it feels like to run with a 170-pound log for 15 miles, because I just don't know what that's like. But I do know what it's like when life knocks you on your butt. And I do know what it's like to wake up on the wrong side of the bed. And I do know what it's like to feel like the world is caving in. And sometimes these small issues we make into like mountains that we don't feel we can overcome. And that's why I thought we should switch the whole environment of American Grit, and that's where we came up with American Grit Season 2.
This is where the extra meat comes in handy. I'm not cold at all.
I'm surprised. Dude, Rich, I didn't think he would last this long.
Rich is doing good. That means it's time for another swim.
Let's go!
Never once was anyone's health in danger. Amazingly enough about that challenge, competitors were attached to the rig before they were lifted, and they all practiced pulling the ripcord that could let them go at any time. And that was just the nature of the challenge. And we had many competitors that said they were afraid of heights, they're afraid of water, they had self-confidence issues just being in a bathing suit. So that one drill, by raising somebody feet in the air, stories in the air, and then dunking them in water, and then doing it again, repeat, 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 allowed them to face their fears. And facing their fears was a big first step into accepting what's going to go on at Camp Grit. Now, it wasn't physically punishing like we did in Season 1, but it's a good foreshadowing of the type of challenges to come in Season 2.
Hey, Mark Wahlberg, shut up.
Mark Wahlberg? Mark Wahlberg's like 150 pounds. I look like Mark Wahlberg ate Mark Wahlberg.
Right after that trailer moment hit, there was a casting for a 2-second part in the movie called Daddy's Home, where they needed a essentially larger looking version of Mark Wahlberg. And it was Mark's idea to call me. That's right. And I was a hilarious button. I had one line in the movie, and it was,
"You must be Roger."
Nope. And the joke in Trainwreck set up the joke for that movie. And man of his word, on set, Mark was like, you know what, we're going to do a sequel, and we're going to have you in this. And I just wrapped Daddy's Home 2, which is going to be out in Thanksgiving this year. And they honestly probably could have done it without me. So my hat's off to Mark for being a man of his word and allowing me to be in a movie with some wonderfully funny people.
People think they got you all figured out based on how you look. But it's not that simple. Especially when it comes to me.
I loved the story. It's about someone, Ferdinand the bull, who is perceived to be something, but is so much more than like what it appears on the surface. And I've struggled with this a lot in my career at WWE. I'm well aware of the stereotypes and preconceived notions. So when I get to be the lead in a story that encourages people to, hey, just because you look a certain way doesn't mean you have to conform to that stereotype. As a matter of fact, if you're different, go right ahead and go with it because it's awesome and you're awesome for being yourself. It's a great message to send, and it's a funny movie with a great cast. So I mean, once again, it was a great story.